Hello friends, in today's lecture we will talk about the chapter some basic concepts of chemistry. It is very important chapter of the physical chemistry. So in this lecture we will cover the following topics. First of all, we will study about the chemistry, what is the meaning of chemistry, what is meant by chemistry, and the second is the we will talk about the branches of chemistry. Third one is the we'll discuss scope of chemistry, and then nature of matter, then change in the state of matter, then classification of matter, how the matter is classified, then properties of matter and their measurement, and the last topic is measurement of physical properties. So we will discuss all these topics one by one. So first of all, note all these topics. These all 8 topics: chemistry, branches of chemistry, scope of chemistry, nature of matter, change in the state of matter, classification of matter, properties of matter and their measurement, and measurement of physical properties. Right? Now, first of all, we are talking about the chemistry. केमिस्ट्री क्या होता है? केमिस्ट्री हम लोग केमिस्ट्री कैसे पढ़ते हैं, केमिस्ट्री में क्या चीज पढ़नी होती है. So chemistry is defined as a branch of science in which we study about the structure, composition, preparation and properties of the material substances. तो क्या क्या बताया मैंने? केमिस्ट्री में हम लोग क्या क्या पढ़ते हैं? स्ट्रक्चर, प्रिपरेशन, properties and composition. Structure, preparation, property and composition for what? For material substances. Material substances. All right. So it is the basically meaning of chemistry, branch of science which deals with the properties of preparation, structure and composition of material substances. That is chemistry. Now the second thing is branches of chemistry. Branches of chemistry. For the study purpose, basically we categorize the chemistry in 3 parts. Physical chemistry, second is the organic chemistry, and the third one is the inorganic chemistry. All right. So first of all, before studying chemistry, you should know the meaning of physical chemistry, organic chemistry or inorganic chemistry. First one is the physical chemistry. Physical chemistry is a branch of chemistry in which we study about the calculative or quantitative approach that deals the quantity of chemicals and the mechanism of reactions, जिसमें हम लोग क्वांटिटेटिव एस्टिमेशन के बारे में, रिएक्शन की मैकेनिज्म के बारे में पढ़ते हैं, केमिकल चेंजेस के बारे में पढ़ते हैं, और कैलकुलेटिव और न्यूमेरिकल अप्रोच के साथ. दैट विल कम अंडर द फिजिकल केमिस्ट्री. सो like in your syllabus of class 11th, there are many chapters of physical chemistry like chemical equilibrium, and this chapter also, that is some basic concept of chemistry in which we are dealing with the mole concept and stoichiometry, that is a calculative approach. So that all comes under physical chemistry. Apart from this chapter, in your syllabus, chemical equilibrium, chemical thermodynamics, atomic structure, these type of chapter comes under the physical chemistry. Got it? Now the second is the organic chemistry. organic chemistry is the branch of chemistry which deals with the study of organic compounds. Means we study about the preparation, properties, and structure of the organic compounds. So now you should know the meaning of organic compound. Organic compound. Organic compounds. So organic compound basically are the compounds which are made up of carbon with a combination of few electronegative atoms like hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. Such compounds are known as the organic compound, but there is a one criteria for the organic compound. There should be at least one carbon hydrogen bond. Means there should be one CH bond. CH bond, carbon hydrogen bond. I am taking example of hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons are the compounds that is made up of carbon and hydrogen. So there is a carbon with the combination of hydrogen. That is known as hydrocarbon. Hydrocarbon also comes under the organic compound, or you can say organic chemistry. Apart from hydrocarbons, there are many organic compounds like aldehydes, ketones, esters, alcohol, acid anhydrides. So all these compounds having carbon with the combination of electronegative atom, but there is also one CH bond. For example, suppose you are taking example of formaldehyde. Formaldehyde is a member of aldehyde. So what is the formula? That is HCHO. Alright. So whatever you are finding here, carbon is here. The presence of carbon is mandatory in the case of organic compounds. Carbon with combination of electronegative atom, that is oxygen, and there is also one CH bond. So that means it is the organic compound. Ketone. Suppose you are taking example of propanol, that is acetone. The formula is CH3 CO CH3. This is the acetone, or you can say propanol. In this you also having the presence of carbon with the electronegative atom oxygen, and there is also CH bonds. So that means it is also fulfilling the criteria of organic compound. Such compounds are known as organic compounds, and their study study of preparation, properties, and structures all comes under organic chemistry. All right. Now the third one is the inorganic chemistry. Inorganic chemistry means when you are studying the chemistry without carbon, means carbon should not be there, and you are whatever the combination, there should be electronegative atom. Suppose I am taking example of ammonia, NH3. NH3. In NH3, nitrogen is the electronegative atom, that is with combination with the hydrogen. So, but there is no carbon. There is no carbon. There is no CH bond. So, such compounds are known as inorganic compounds. H2O, water molecule. In H2O, there is also electronegative atom oxygen with combination of hydrogen, but there is no carbon, and there is no CH bond. That means it is also inorganic compounds. So that you can say you are studying anything with whatever the combination, but there should be no carbon, and or you can say except carbon. The study of periodic table is known as the inorganic chemistry. So these are the three basically branches of the chemistry, that is the physical chemistry, organic chemistry, and inorganic chemistry. Apart from these three branches, there are also some branches possible, like suppose biochemistry, industrial chemistry, nuclear chemistry, analytical chemistry, and so on. So that means these are also categorization of chemistry, different branches of chemistry. In biochemistry, we study about the role of chemistry in the biochemical process. Suppose you are studying the structure of glucose, structure of carbohydrate, their properties, and the study of lipids, proteins. So that is all are the macromolecules, or you can say biomolecules. That all comes under biochemistry. In the industrial chemistry, that means the study of chemistry for the like you can say meaningful for the industrial purposes. You are studying the preparation of ammonia at industrial level, so that means that become industrial chemistry. In nuclear chemistry, we studied about the nuclear reactions, and you know nuclear reactions are entirely different from the chemical reaction. In nuclear reactions, there is a change in the nuclei, means change in the protons, neutrons along with the electrons. So that comes under the nuclear chemistry. Means suppose you are producing nuclear energy with the help of fission and fusion. So that all comes under the nuclear chemistry. And the last one is the analytical chemistry. In analytical chemistry, we study about the qualitative analysis of the substances, or you can say chemicals, their estimation with the help of experiments. Basically जो हम लोग लैब में करते हैं, एक्सपेरिमेंट्स करते हैं, that comes under analytic chemistry. Suppose you are identifying any cation, you are finding any anion, or volumetric analysis. These all topics lie under the analytical chemistry. All right. So now two things are clear. सबसे पहले कि केमिस्ट्री क्या होती है, केमिस्ट्री और उसकी ब्रांचेस क्या होती हैं, और उसमें हम लोग क्या क्या पढ़ते हैं. All right. Now the third topic is that is the importance of chemistry. You know, chemicals are, or you can say chemical compounds are very important in our daily life also. You are surrounded by the chemicals everywhere. There are many examples. Means you cannot study the entire role of chemicals in your life. In all the fields, whether it is cropping or farming, chemistry is there. In the human mankind, chemistry is there. In the pharma industry or drug industry, chemistry is there. In our daily life, like metals, alloys, plastic, polymers, dyes, drugs, these all are chemicals, or you can say made up of chemical combinations. Suppose I am taking example of pharma industry. In pharma industry, you know, a lot of drugs or medicines are developed with the help of chemical compounds which are useful for the treatment of humans. Like I am taking one example, cisplatin and Taxol. Cisplatin and Taxol. These are the two combinations which are used in the treatment of cancer. Treatment of cancer, or you can say cancer therapy. Alright, cisplatin and Taxol. One more thing is there that is already asked in many examination, AZT. AZT. This is the also drug, or you can say medicine or chemical, which is used in the treatment of the patient which is suffering from AIDS. What is the full form of AZT? That is the azidothiamidine. THYMIDINE. Azidothiamidine. So this is also the drug which is used for the treatment of AIDS patient, for the patient which is suffering from AIDS. Alright, so that means it is very difficult to list out the whole, or you can say complete role of chemistry in your life. Everywhere is there. Suppose toothpaste. Toothpaste is also having the chemical composition of calcium. So that means apart from the scope of chemistry, it is better I am just going onward in the next topic. Now, before discussing the detailed study of this chapter, you should know about the nature of matter. Nature of matter. Nature of matter. nature of matter. First of all, what is the matter that you already studied many times in lower standard? Matter को आप define करते हो, that is anything which is occupying space and having volume. मीन्स कोई भी ऐसी चीज जो स्पेस ऑक्यूपाई कर रहा है और उसका वॉल्यूम है, उसको मैटर बोल देते हैं. यू कैन से पेन, पेंसिल, बोर्ड, एनीथिंग दैट मीन्स दैट इज ऑक्यूपाइंग स्पेस एंड हैविंग वॉल्यूम, दैट इज कॉल्ड द मैटर. ऑलराइट. तो मैटर को बेसिकली हम लोग डिवाइड करते हैं 3 पार्ट्स में. स्टेट ऑफ मैटर. इफ यू टॉकिंग अबाउट द स्टेट ऑफ मैटर, so there are 3 parts. क्या क्या होता है? दैट यू नो, सॉलिड, लिक्विड एंड गैस. Solid, liquid and gas. These are the basically 3 states of matter. I will not discuss about the plasma and Bose condensed state. That is also regarded as the 4th and 5th state of matter, but that is not in your study. We will talk about the only solid state, liquid state and gaseous state. So what are the basic property? You know, definite shape or definite volume. Definite shape or definite volume. In the case of solid, you know, solid objects are compact. In the solid, the particles are compactly packed. All right. So that means that's why they will have definite shape and definite volume also. All right. But in the case of liquid state, it has definite volume, but there is no definite shape due to its fluidity nature. You know, liquids have tendency to flow. In the case of gas, or you can say gaseous state, gaseous molecule, or you can say gaseous state, neither have definite shape or nor definite volume. Gases का ना कोई definite shape होगा और ना ही definite volume होगा. ये आपने already पढ़ रखा होगा. Alright. Now I am talking about how there is a change in the state of matter. How the matter changes their state. Alright. You know, solid can convert into the liquid, and liquid can convert into the gas. Gas can convert into the liquid, and liquid can convert into the solid, and solid can also convert into the gas without undergoing the liquid state. As gas can also convert to the solid without undergoing liquid state. So you know the process also. If the solid is converting into liquid, the process is known as the melting. And if liquid is converting into gas, that is known as evaporation, or you can say vaporization. Alright. If the gas is converting into liquid, that means condensation. And if the liquid is converting to solid, that is a freezing. And if the solid is converting into directly into gas without undergoing liquid state, that is known as a sublimation. And if the gas is converting into directly solid without undergoing liquid, that is known as the solidification, and sometimes it is also called sublimation. Alright. Now the question is how the matter is changing its state. Matter अपना state change कैसे करता है? So there are basically 4 factors on which the state of matter depends. What are those factors? First is the intermolecular distances. Second is the intermolecular forces. Third is the thermal energy, or you can say temperature, and the fourth one is the kinetic energy of constituent particle, or you can say velocity of constituent particle, or you can say randomness of constituent particles. Randomness of constituent particles. Now, what are the meaning of these four factors? How the intermolecular distances, intermolecular forces, thermal energy, or you can say temperature, kinetic energy of constituent particles, velocity of constant particle, or randomness of constant particle changes the state of matter. So first of all, I am talking about the temperature or thermal energy. I am considering one object, or you can say one matter, and you know matter is made up of a small teeny particle according to Dalton's atomic theory. Alright, suppose I am considering this any matter which is occupying a space and having volume also. You can say it is a solid. Alright, and it is made up of, suppose these are the constituent particles by which it is made up of. Alright, these are the particles by which matter is made up of. Okay, first of all, intermolecular distance. Intermolecular distance means it is the distance between the constituent particles. This is the intermolecular distance, that is the distance between the constituent particles. Second is the intermolecular forces. So the force which is operating between these particles, that is a attractive force which is acting between the constant particles, that is known as the intermolecular forces. Alright, and the third one is the thermal energy, means when you are increasing the temperature or the thermal energy of the system is increasing. And the third one is the kinetic energy of constant particle. You know these particles are moving in a random motion, or in the case of solid object it is vibrating at their mean position. Okay, and you can say velocity is also concerned with the kinetic energy, that is you know kinetic energy is expressed as half mv square. So of course if the velocity will increase, then the kinetic energy of the particle or constant particle also increase. All right, and randomness means it is the you know constant particles are randomized in the basically in the case of liquid state or in the case of gaseous state, and but in the case of solid state the particles are vibrating at their mean position. How their state changes? So सबसे पहले बात करते हैं, suppose you are increasing the temperature of the system. You are increasing the temperature of the system. This system temperature आपने increase किया, so of course on increasing the temperature thermal energy will increase, or you can say temperature thermal energy will increase. Thermal energy. All right, I am writing here thermal energy, you will confuse thermal energy. All right, on increasing temperature thermal energy will increase, and when temperature increases then the randomization of the particle will also increase. You can say velocity of the constant particle will also increase. Velocity, or you can say randomness will also increases. So on increasing temperature thermal energy will increase, velocity will increase, or you can say randomness will increase, or ultimately kinetic energy of the particle. Kinetic energy of the particle, that is mv square by 2, will also increase. Ultimately on increasing these factors, temperature, thermal energy, velocity, randomness, or you can say kinetic energy, intermolecular force will start weakens. Means intermolecular force, the force operating between these particles becomes weak. Means intermolecular force क्या होगा? IF, that is intermolecular force weak होगा. और जब intermolecular force weak होगा, randomness increase हो रही है, then what will happen? Ultimately intermolecular distance will increase. ID, that is the intermolecular distance, will increase. So what will happen? These particles become far away and their property will change. Suppose it is converting into this object, this property of matter. Now the particles are far away, so of course its property will change. Alright, so in this way solid can convert into the liquid state, liquid can convert into the gaseous state. So you have to remember these four factors which changes the state of matter. What are these factors? Intermolecular distances, intermolecular forces, thermal energy or temperature, and the kinetic energy of constant particle, velocity of constant particle, or you can say randomness of constant particle. Alright, now there is one question. You know about the word phase, Phase. I am doing this. Alright, so state and phase, state और phase में क्या difference होगा? Sometimes you are using the word phase and sometimes you are using the word state. So what is the difference between these two, state and phase? It is very important. You should know the difference in the state and phase of the matter. Alright, so this is the, I am writing here state, and the second word is a phase. Alright, state. There is very minute difference between the state and the phase of matter. State के बारे में अभी आपने पढ़ा, there are solid state, liquid state and gas state, and how the state are changing on the basis of thermal energy, kinetic energy, intermolecular forces, intermolecular distances. But what is the meaning of phase? Phase basically depends on three things. First is the composition. Second is the structure. And the third one is the state. Means phase also depends on the state. जब तक किसी भी मैटर का कॉम्पोजिशन चेंज नहीं होता है, या स्ट्रक्चर में कोई चेंज नहीं आता है, या फिर स्टेट चेंज नहीं होती है, तब तक उसका फेज चेंज नहीं होगा. ऑलराइट, सो नाउ इट्स वेरी कंफ्यूजिंग. आई एम अगेन क्लियरिंग दिस थिंग. सपोज दिस द ऑब्जेक्ट in solid state. Alright, this is the object in solid state. So as usual, the constant particles are compactly packed, and there is a higher intermolecular force and less intermolecular distance. Alright, this is the any solid object. Now by any means, if we are changing the property of this substance, solid substance, now it is converting into liquid state. Alright, in liquid state. So what will happen? Of course, these particles become far away, or you can say intermolecular distance will increases, and the intermolecular forces will decrease. Alright, so there is a change in the state of matter. Solid is converting into liquid. अगर किसी भी मैटर का अगर स्टेट चेंज होता है तो उसका फेज ऑटोमेटिकली चेंज हो जाएगा. इफ देयर इज अ चेंज इन द स्टेट ऑफ मैटर, phase will automatically change, because phase depends on the composition, structure, and it is already depends on the state. Alright, but I am taking another example. Suppose this is the object and it is a solid object. These are the particles which are compactly packed. There is a more intermolecular force and less intermolecular distance. Now this solid object is again changing in the solid object, solid to solid. How it is possible? Means when there is change in the composition or structure. Now I am considering the change in the structure. Means this particles arrangement will change. Suppose this particles arrangement is changing, but the state is not changing. State is not changing. Before it was solid and now it is also solid. So that means we can say that the phase of the substance changes. Means phase change हुआ है लेकिन स्टेट में चेंज नहीं हुआ है. So you have to memorize these three things. Whenever there is a change in the composition, structure and state of matter, then only phase will change. Or you can say when there is a change in the state of matter, phase will automatically change. But it is not mandatory. If the phase are changing, then the state of matter will change. Because before it was solid and now it is also solid, and that there is only the what is the difference, there is a change in the structure. तो स्ट्रक्चर चेंज होने से उसका फेज चेंज हुआ है लेकिन स्टेट चेंज नहीं हुई है. सो व्हाट इज द कंक्लूजन इज दिस: whenever there is a change in the state of matter, phase will automatically change, but it is not mandatory. If the phase are changing, then the state of matter will change, because phase depends on the composition, structure and state. Got it? This is the difference between state and phase. All right, now I am talking about the next topic is classification of matter. Classification of matter. How we are classifying the matter. Classification of matter. Matter basically classified into two parts. First is the mixtures and second is the pure substances. Mixtures and pure substances. Pure substances. Alright. Mixture further categorized into two parts. First is the homogeneous mixture. Homogeneous mixture, and the second is the heterogeneous mixture. All right, homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. In pure substance is also classified into two parts: elements and compounds. Elements and compounds. Compounds further classified into three parts: metals, non-metals and metalloids. All right. Compound is also categorized into two types of compounds. That is the organic compound and inorganic compound. This is a complete classification of matter, how the matter is classified. So matter is classified into two basically parts: mixtures and pure substances. Mixture is classified into homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. Alright. And pure substance is also categorized into two parts. One is the elements and second is the compounds. Elements further classified into three parts: metals, non-metals and metalloids. And the compound is further classified into organic compound and inorganic compound. Alright, so this is the complete classification. Now I will discuss these all terms one by one. So draw it as the classification of matter. Now, first of all, I will talk about the mixtures. Mixtures क्या होते हैं? So mixture, you can define mixtures as a combination of pure substance. When two or more pure substances are combining in any ratio. What is important in the mixture? Means in mixtures, combination of pure substances in any proportion. Means proportion is not fixed. And the one more important property about mixtures can be separated by simple physical process. Mixtures can be separated by simple physical process. Simple physical process like distillation, crystallization, hand picking method. All right. So what are the mixtures? Mixture is a combination of pure substances in any proportion, and mixture can be separated by simple physical process like distillation, crystallization and hand picking methods. मिक्सचर्स को हम लोग दो पार्ट में क्लासिफाई किया था. कौन कौन सा था? फर्स्ट वन इज द होमोजेनस मिक्सचर. Homogeneous mixture. So what is the meaning of homogeneous? Homogeneous means uniform. If the component of mixtures are spreading, or you can say intermixing in the bulk, then the homogeneity, or you can say uniformity, will maintain there. Such kind of mixtures are known as the homogeneous mixture. Means there is a constant composition of the component throughout the mixture, that is known as the homogeneous mixture. Suppose you are talking about the air hai, and the sugar is dissolved in the water, then the mixture is also homogeneous. Suppose this is the water, you are taking water H2O and you are dissolving inside sucrose, that is sugar, C12H22O11. Then you know solution become there, and homogeneity will maintain there. If you are taking any part from the bulk, so that will show the similar properties. That will show the similar properties. All right. So that is a homogeneous mixture. All right. Example, air is also the homogeneous mixture. Second one is the heterogeneous mixture. Heterogeneous mixture. So it is just opposite to the homogeneous mixture. That means there is no uniform distribution of component of mixtures throughout the bulk. Heterogeneous mixture. Heterogeneous mixture. What is the property of heterogeneous mixture? That means there will be no uniform distribution of component of mixtures throughout the bulk. That becomes the heterogeneous mixture. Suppose there is a, I am taking example, pulses, grains and some stone pieces. Alright. So I am taking example of there are pulses, some grains and stone pieces. So you know it is not possible these all three mix in any proportion and there will be homogeneity or uniform distribution. ये पॉसिबल नहीं है कि ये तीनों आपस में मिक्स होकर के होमोजेनिटी को मेंटेन करें या फिर यूनिफॉर्म डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन हो थ्रू आउट द बल्क. सो इस तरह के जो मिक्सचर्स बनते हैं उनको क्या बोलते हैं? हेटेरोजेनस मिक्सचर्स. ऑलराइट. सो व्हाट आर द important property of mixtures means the combination of two or more than two pure substances and that can be separated by physical means, by simple techniques like hand picking method, like distillation, crystallization and so on. All right. So ये तो बात हो गया कि मिक्सचर क्या होता है और होमोजेनस मिक्सचर क्या होते हैं और हेटेरोजेनस मिक्सचर्स क्या होते हैं. नाउ आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द प्योर सब्सटेंसेस. Pure substances means that is made up of only one kind of particle. Pure substances. That means pure substances are those substances which are only made up of identical particles, or you can say one kind of particles are known as pure substances. Alright. And pure substances cannot be separated by simple physical methods. There is a requirement of special techniques, or you can say special chemical methods for the separation of pure substances. All right. So in pure substances we study about the two things: elements and compounds. Elements and compounds. All right. So first of all, I'm talking about the elements. Element क्या होता है? Element is the smallest, you can say, unit of the matter. The smallest unit of the matter is known as the element, and element is made up of identical, or you can say same, or you can say one kind of particles. Suppose I am taking example of copper. Suppose this is a copper sheet. This is a copper sheet. Cu, the symbol of copper. This is a copper sheet. All right. So you know, element, according to Dalton's atomic theory, element is combined of smallest teeny particle, that is atom. So I am considering atom as a constant particle here. Suppose these are the constant particle as atoms. All right. So in this element copper, these all atoms will be identical. These all atoms will be identical and will have similar properties. इन सब की properties भी क्या होंगी? Same होंगी. So you can define element as the, of course, pure state of matter, or you can say it is the smallest unit of matter that is made up of one type of, or you can say identical constant particles, is known as the elements. And elements can further classified into three parts, that you know: metals, non-metals, metals, non-metals, and metalloid and metalloids. So I am not talking about the metals and non-metals and metalloid. You know about the basic property of metals and non-metals and metalloids. Now I am coming towards the compound. Compound क्या होता है? Compound is also the pure state of matter. And what is the difference between mixture and compound? In compound, there is a combination of particles, or you can say there is a combination of atoms in a fixed proportion. In a fixed proportion. Suppose I am taking the example of H2O. H2O. So you know, H2O molecule is made up of 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen. So it is a fixed proportion by mass. There are 2 part of hydrogen is combining with 1 part of oxygen. So that means water जब भी हम लोग बोलेंगे, जब 2 part hydrogen का is combining with the 1 part of oxygen, then only it is the water molecule. Now suppose 2 part of hydrogen is combining with 2 part of oxygen, then it becomes hydrogen peroxide. And it is different. It is the water molecule. It is the hydrogen peroxide. So there is a fixed combination when, or you can say fixed ratio, fixed proportion, fixed ratio of hydrogen and oxygen. Then it become a water molecule. And if the proportion is differing, then there will be another compound. So what is the compound? Compound is also the pure substance, pure substances, or you can say it is a pure state of matter or pure substances, in which there is a combination of elements in a fixed proportion. All right. And the compounds cannot be separated by the simple physical techniques. There is a requirement of unique, or you can say special techniques or chemical process for the separation of compounds. All right. One more thing is important here about the compound. Compound are also homogeneous. कंपाउंड भी होमोजेनस होते हैं और फिक्स्ड मोशन बाय मास में कंबाइंड होते हैं. कंपाउंड्स को हम लोग 2 पार्ट में कैटेगराइज किए थे, दैट आर द ऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड एंड इनऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड. ऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड और इनऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड. ऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड और इनऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड के हम लोग बारे में पहले स्टार्टिंग लेक्चर बात कर चुके हैं कि ऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड्स और इनऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड्स क्या होते हैं. ऑलराइट. तो H2O के बारे में अगर बात किया जाए तो H2O मॉलिक्यूल है या H2O कंपाउंड है या H2O मिक्सचर है. तो H2O is a compound as well as it is also molecule, because you know molecule are formed due to the combination of atoms. So it is forming by the combination of atoms in a definite proportion. So you can say H2O is a molecule as well as it is compound, because there is a fixed proportion of the combination of elements. So that's why it is also known as the compounds. Now the one more important property, during the formation of mixtures, the component shows the as it is property of mixtures. There is no change in the property. जो मिक्सचर की प्रॉपर्टी होगी एंड यू कैन से जो कंपोनेंट की प्रॉपर्टी होगी वही मिक्सचर की प्रॉपर्टी होगी. ऑलराइट, बट कंपाउंड्स में ऐसा नहीं होता है. कंपाउंड्स में द प्रॉपर्टी विल एंटायरली चेंज. सपोज आई एम टेकिंग एग्जांपल ऑफ H2O. So in the case of H2O, hydrogen shows different property, oxygen shows different property, and after combination by fixed proportion, H2O is forming, but H2O will not form the property of the component, that means hydrogen oxygen. That will show the entirely different property. All right, means in the compound formation, the properties is not resemble with the component of the compounds. All right, so this is all about the classification of matter. Now you know the meaning of pure substances, mixtures, homogeneous mixtures, heterogeneous mixtures, compounds, organic compounds, inorganic compounds, or metals, non-metals, and metalloid. All right. Now, after the classification of matter, I am talking about the next topic, that is the measurement of physical properties. हम लोग physical properties को मेजर कैसे करते हैं, दैट इज इंपॉर्टेंट. ओके, मेजरमेंट ऑफ फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टीज. फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टीज होती क्या है, पहले यू शुड नो व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टीज एंड केमिकल प्रॉपर्टीज. मैटर शोज मेनी प्रॉपर्टीज. आई एम जस्ट टेकिंग एग्जांपल. सपोज रिएक्टिविटी, कंबस्टिबिलिटी, एसिडिटी, बेसिसिटी, and odor, boiling point, melting point. So how will you find which one is the physical property and which one is the chemical property? So the properties which is concerned with the appearance or physical structure, that is known as the physical property, like odor, like boiling point, like melting point, like density. These all are the physical properties. And the properties which concerned with the chemical changes, that is known as the chemical properties. जैसे combustibility की बात की जाती है, reactivity with the metals, reactivity with the non-metals, acidity, basicity, these all are the chemical properties. तो physical property को हम लोग जो measure करते हैं तो उसको हम लोग without changes measure कर सकते हैं. Means we can measure the physical property without changes, but there is a requirement of chemical change during the study of chemical properties, or you can say measurement of chemical properties. So we will discuss about the, first of all, measurement of physical properties. Measurement of physical properties. Physical properties. In the measurement of physical properties, in the earlier time there were two systems developed for the measurement. One is the metric system, and second is the English system. Metric system was developed in France. These were the earlier systems, but we are nowadays we are using the one universal system, that is known as the international system of units. The international system of units. All right, the international system of units, इसको हम लोग SI units भी बोलते हैं. SI units. All right. So it was developed in the 11th conference of CGPA. 11th conference of CGPA. All right. CGPA means General Conference on Weight and Measures. CGPA मतलब होता है General Conference on weights and measures. That is the meaning of CGPA. So in the 11th conference of CGPA, earlier time we were following the metric system and English system, but that was not universal. But in university we are studied the international system of units or SI units. It was developed in the 11th conference of CGPA. What is the meaning of CGPA? That is the General Conference on Weights and Measures. Now we will study about the SI units. SI units. तो देखिए उससे पहले SI units में हम लोग फंडामेंटल यूनिट्स को पढ़ते हैं. There are 7 fundamental units, and rest of the units were derived units. Fundamental units. Fundamental units क्या होते हैं? Fundamental quantity, fundamental physical quantity, fundamental physical quantity, and their units. Okay. Fundamental physical quantity. There are 7 fundamental physical quantities. First one is the mass, and in SI units, mass is expressed in kg. So that means this is the fundamental physical quantity, and this is its SI unit, or you can say fundamental unit, that is the kg. Length is expressed in meters. Mass, length, and the third one is the time. Time is expressed in seconds. So these are the fundamental physical quantity, and these are